Happy Thursday! Today is a glorious Thursday. Actually, it is a very, depending where you are, but it's either going to be a extremely windy, extremely sunny, or extremely rainy. Anyone experiencing hurricane disasters, my prayers go out to you, and hopefully everyone watching this pod keeps everyone in their hearts and prayers as well. Doesn't matter what part of the world you're in, hurricanes are not just happening in America. I really gotta. Don't worry, I'm gonna be ordering one of those robotic arms, and I'm gonna plop my gigantic silver microphone on there. Okay, so happy Thursday, like I said. Hopefully everyone is doing great. I'm actually live streaming on Twitch right now. I'm doing a very early live stream. I've actually been up since 5:30 Eastern Time. Already killed a 16-ounce cup of coffee. Man, do you know how hard it is not to drink multiple cups of coffee a day when you are, working in front of, technology for, 18 hours? It's just, your eyes, they just want to... I've actually fallen asleep at my computer in the last couple months, but next week, I'm actually rearranging my schedule around, and I should be able to do a lot of afternoon live streaming as well. And like I said, probably on a personal update, but I do want to dive right into this pod because I got quite a few really good things to talk about. Just AFKing on RuneScape, doing some prayer training. I am so behind prayer training. It's unbelievable. But next week, I'm definitely going to be hitting a lot of afternoon streaming time zones. Right now, I'm pretty much hitting, Australian time zones. What? Who is this? Sorrow's Rage. Yes, bunghole. I've actually known Sorrow's Rage since 2008. Thank you, Sour Rage. Well, you just literally left somewhere and you called me a bunghole. I'm also hitting some good EU time zones as well. 3:40 p.m. Is it seriously 3:40 p.m. for you? No way. I thought the EU time zones, unless maybe you're in Russia, you're in Brazil. Okay. Well, Brazil is 9:42. I guess it really depends where you are. Anyways, I love you all. Thank you for getting 140 in the UK. People are saying, okay, well, anyways, I really do want to get back into streaming. It's probably not going to be until relatively after Thanksgiving. And once again, if it wasn't for these pods that I'm doing every Taco Tuesday, Thirsty Thursday, Sexy Saturday. Yeah, let's go ahead and say that. 1440 in Germany. Yeah, I thought, pretty sure Germany was 6 hours ahead. When I was there, well, actually, no, I think sometimes it would be 5 hours because daylight savings in America. Regardless, you all, quite a few people, like I said, actually suggested to me, hey, if you're going to be filming pods, why don't you just, go on Twitch and just make a pod episode so you can have a lot of interaction with people? It's been working out extremely well. The only thing, though, is that these analytics on these pods are actually, they're going down. But our subscribers on YouTube are going up. We're getting closer to we're getting closer to 208,000, which is pretty remarkable. I'm actually very excited to really hit that. So, obviously, our community is growing, and I'm here for truly The Last of Us. Yes, The Last of Us that still plays this game, because there is a dying need for very old RuneScapians still playing this game. Because if all the old RuneScapians pretty much threw in the towel, Well, you would just have a world on RuneScape that would be filled with NPCs, also known as the zombies. Whoa. Can you imagine RuneScape with no players and just NPCs? Who will the sandwich lady go around and try giving her STDs to? Like, come on, man. Like, there's going to be no one there. By the way, Daniel Tidwell is in the process of doing some new RuneScape covers, by the way. That was actually Daniel Tidwell's cover of The Last of Us, which went so perfect to the title of this pod journey. Let's see. Unknown Valentine to the creepy old man. Yeah, the creepy old man on RuneScape wouldn't have anyone to go around. But that's basically pretty much it about personal updates. Now we're going to dive into the main talking point of this pod. The last thing I'll go ahead and say is last night I did upload a new Storyfire video. Like I said, being sponsored by the Storyfire platform, making an account over on Storyfire completely free along with watching my content there. Going to be posting it's going to be a doozy video tomorrow. And then Saturday, we're going to be talking about it a little more in depth because, if I do get back to doing longer live streams, and I'm talking like 5 hours minimum, 6, potentially throwing in some maybe 12-hour live streams here and there, well, my account is gonna, it's going to have a lot more levels in one skill. Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely, definitely. Okay, but main talking point of this pod, and like I was telling the Twitch chat, start thinking about like community-related stuff on old school RuneScape. And somebody did bring up like a very good point. I've already talked about this in a previous pod, Project Zanaris. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. But basically pretty much private servers coming to old school RuneScape. Yes, I'm going to have my own private server. I'm not really sure how I'm going to be utilizing it just yet. But it's going to be, let me put it this way. If you join my private server, you're going to be forced to being stuck in 2009 of RuneScape. So if you're one of these new RuneScapians out there that joined RuneScape, which I really don't think so, I think the people still following me are literally people from like back in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12 time frame, which is awesome. And then on Twitch, especially, I've also gained probably new people as well. But you're going to be playing RuneScape as if it was legitimately 2009. It's going to be hard, baby. It's not going to be easy scape. Johnny West will be everywhere. Yes, Johnny West will be everywhere. Private servers. Oh, yes. Johnny West is going to be absolutely all over the place. American Pie 2 reference, if you don't know what I'm talking about. But still. So, private servers, or rather, I didn't even realize this was kind of like an issue, but I actually found some stuff very quickly. And apparently, one of the reasons that the old school RuneScape team might be doing this, or really inspired to do Project Zanaris, is because it's gonna put a big KO in a lot of the private servers that are still actually happening. My experience with private servers, I actually didn't really understand what a private server was the first time I actually learned about it back in like 2008. I was just starting to post stuff on YouTube at that time frame. And the thing about private servers back then is that a lot of people ended up playing on them because during 2008, free trade on old school RuneScape, or rather not old school RuneScape, on RuneScape in general wasn't around. You had a terrible trade limit. You had no free PKing at all. And it forced a lot of people to really do like private servers out there. So you saw a lot of people flocking to private servers, and I guess there's actually a very big popular crowd nowadays for still private servers, which is just really like shocking. Like, there are so many different variants of old school RuneScape. Why would you really need a private server? And realistically, the only reason is because on private servers, you can mod your own game. So you can pretty much make private servers be the EXP absolutely just crazy. You can also pretty much do anything. You can set whether you want to like trade with certain people. Yes, I can be racist. Oh, you will not be able to trade unless you are level 50. Or you cannot trade with anyone unless you are level 99 fletching. Would that be racist, or would that be prejudice? Or maybe a combination of both. I would probably definitely discriminate against the raiders. Oh yeah, absolutely. If you are a high-level raider, yeah, there's going to be no place for you, brother or sister. Absolutely none at all. But on a private server, you can basically pretty much set your own rules. And I guess that's what a lot of people are really craving for. So it's not a bad thing for Jagex to basically step in and say, hey, we're going to be launching our own private servers. And because of this, well, it can potentially hurt, non-private servers out there, which oh boy, shiver my timbers. Melkor, 13 months. And by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, Melkor is Hauser RH. Whoo! Daisy. Does that ring a bell? The helicopter! Chuck Norris. Hopefully it does. But otherwise, yeah, Project Zanaris is definitely going to make the game significantly more interesting. And it's probably definitely going to put the nail in the coffin if there are a tremendous amount of private servers happening. Let's see. What's going on in the Twitch chat right now? Duel Arena. Okay, so Thomas, you just literally said the Duel Arena. That is very true. So I guess, and I just did a farmhouse run. I am a multitasking human being. That is another thing, too. If you come on my private server, you're going to need to be able to multitask. I'm going to discriminate against people that cannot multitask. You gotta be able to multitask faster than you are able to breathe. I'm over here recording a YouTube pod episode, doing a birdhouse run, reading Twitch chat, and at the same time checking my cell phone. That's lovely. Yeah, you gotta multitask, baby. Woo! Actually, sometimes when you multitask, your brain becomes kind of really fried in a way. Dueling Arena, right? What happened a couple years ago on old school RuneScape? Well, Jagex nerfed the Dueling Arena. So, private servers, the RuneScape Zanaris private servers, are definitely going to be incorporating the Duel Arena all over again. Now, the downside to these private servers is the fact that they're definitely not going to be linked to the main game If they are going to be linked to the main game, then whoa, that's going to be a shell shocker, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to be. The dueling arena, I mean, hell, if you want to go and box one bill, and if you want like old-fashioned, boxing, then that is one variant that you're going to be able to probably most likely really set. So there's a lot of different things out there that is going to be motivating people to get off like non-RuneScape private servers and actually go on to like old school RuneScape private servers. Actually, I got to look this up. Let's see. When did old school RuneScape ban Duel Arena? Actually, I have a video on this. Duel Arena back in 2022. Update to deathmatching. Let's see. Update to deathmatching. October 2022. Let me pull this up on the screen right here. I know I made a video on this. August. Here it is. So, holy bananas, man. Has it seriously been 2 years? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Money Pit, anyone? Wow, that is a shell shocker. Okay, so it's been, so think of it this way. In the last 2 years, right? I know, I definitely know I made a video on this. In the last 2 years, people probably have been motivated to really go on private servers because of that aspect. And I guarantee you the old school RuneScape team, and honestly, this is probably something that should have happened years ago. When I say years ago, I mean like well beyond 10 years ago. Private servers should have really came out like well over 10 years ago. Because you would have had probably a lot more people significantly stay on this game and not go to private servers. And where is this video of mine? I know I made a video of this. I just, I'm looking. Let's see. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's only been a ban in 1 year. Hang on 1 second. Let's see. Twitch chat. When did they ban it? Recently, high risk 2 months ago. Yeah, so 2 months ago they did made high risk DMing, and they also banned an entire clan for DMing 2 months ago too. I know I made a video on this, I just honestly really can't find it, and it's really not that important, but it's the fact that dueling is definitely going to be one of those primary things that's going to be driving Project Zanaris. And private servers, I mean, it's definitely going to be really fun. The only downside is that if you are very much attached to your RuneScape account, kind of like I am, then it's going to be hard to dedicate time to really, pretty much like a new type thing. But if it's something interactive, especially for you all, and if I can definitely incorporate content into it, which I know I can, then yeah, that's definitely going to be feasible. But I honestly didn't even think at first about the whole dueling aspect. I was primarily thinking more so about the EXP type gain, but there are still an alarming number of people that do want to, face each other, whether it's, gambling, DMing, whether it's the duel arena. And it's really unfortunate that experience has pretty much like drastically diminished. And it's just, well, it's no longer there. All right, so moving right along now, want to talk about group Ironman mode for a little bit. And let's see, my Twitch chat. Go ahead and think about some stuff related to group Ironman. Whether it should have came to RS3 when old school RuneScape launched it. And if you really think it's popular or really like not popular anymore still, because I did group Ironman for a little bit. I think maybe like a couple live streams. I had actually a small group Ironman team. And then I was very busy when Group Ironman basically pretty much launched, and I'm like, hey, I can't dedicate time to really pretty much like build up a new account. And that's what it comes down to. Every single time that like there's a new variant on this game, if you don't have time to actually do this, it's not going to work for you. But 6 October 2021 is when Group Ironman was launched on old school RuneScape. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not really too sure why it just didn't get launched on RS3. Because it's finally coming to RS3, which is definitely long overdue, more than anything. And because you guys gotta remember, RS3 does have hardcore Ironman. They also have regular Ironman too. They do not. RS3 does not have Ultimate Ironman, or I'm pretty sure that they don't. But yeah. So it is confirmed on RuneScape 3 that 28 October Group Ironman will be available. So if you are one of these RS3 RuneScapians hardcore, then that is something that's definitely going to be happening. But as for RS3 Ironman, let's see. I believe they only have Ironman and then Ultimate Ironman as well. Let's see. Mr. Ron on Twitch said, know about the RuneScape Classic private servers. That's very true. RH recently mode high risking DM. Talked about that. Nightmare Zone in my server? Maybe. Just because I like the name. I'll say that. Maybe. The Dueling Arena in 22 is in June. They nerfed it 10 mil like in 2021. Really? Okay. Maybe, because I know there was a lot of different variants and a lot of different ways they basically pretty much nerfed like the Duel Arena. Because it was definitely one or more like times they did that. But as for the Group Ironman mode, like old school RuneScape definitely has more variants out there. Because on RS3, you basically pretty much only have... let me go ahead and pull this up. On RS3, you got regular Ironman, which a regular Ironman account is actually very awesome. And then you have hardcore Ironman as well. And then now, at the end of the month, right before Halloween, you're going to be having... You will have Group Ironman, which is definitely going to be awesome. So you're going to have 3 variants on RS3. However, if you are just part of the old school RuneScape community, well, let's go ahead and see. Old school RuneScape Ironman. What do you got? You got quite a few different things. Let's go ahead and pull this up right here. And so we got on old school RuneScape. Woo! You got the standard, boring, traditional Ironman. Sorry, RH, that's you. You're boring. You're boring, man. You're just like the standard version. Now you got the hardcore Harambe RH. I really should be making some more hardcore Iron Man video content. Maybe doing like Monkey Madness 2. Since I pretty much did Monkey Madness 1. And then I pretty much said, okay, I almost died during this. So I think maybe that's pretty much about that. So then you got Ultimate Iron Man, Bungus RH, and then you got Group Iron Man, then you got Hardcore Group Iron Man, then you got Unranked Group Ironman. Unranked Group Ironman. What is that? I actually, hang on, let's go ahead and see this. What is unranked? Ultimate Ironman, blah, 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 blah. I'm not entirely sure what unranked is. Twitch chat, please help me out. I'm pretty sure unranked means... oh, there we go. Unranked is attainable only by players who choose to be unranked Group Ironman in Ironman mode. Attained by speaking the Group Ironman to... Oh, I gotcha. Unranked. Okay. So, basically, pretty much... after choosing being a group, players a new set by speaking. Okay. So I think this is for like solo people, maybe in a way. But still, look at all these different variations in old school RuneScape. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 variations, right? RS3, now you're just getting 3. So RS3 is definitely really lagging behind, which is definitely a little shocking because RS3 tends to be more content-wise. Unknown Valentine is for people who keep moving from team to team. I honestly didn't really even know that. Well, I just learned something new. That's actually pretty awesome, to be honest. Ultimate Ironman would be something. Hardcore Ultimate Ironman would be something. Yes. I ended up dropping the soap more times than I can imagine on because my first Ironman ever was actually an Ultimate Ironman. And I went all in, and I'm like, there's really no... If you're going to do something, you might as well do it 110%. And I did. And it was miserable. For anyone that remembers me doing that on Twitch back in 2015, I believe... whoo boy, man. It was definitely like a miserable experience, but it was fun. It was a fun, miserable experience. But doing a hardcore Ultimate Ironman, oh boy, that would definitely be a shocker to the system. Another comment is unranked group Ironmans are people who suck at the game and pay to 3 times the cost of an item from their main account to another unranked who stack to give it to them on an Ironman account. So what you're saying is that unranked GIMs are just a bunch of well, they're a bunch of watermelons or fruits, I should say. They're kind of like the sissies of Ironmans, right? Well, glad NightmareRH, we got an Ultimate Ironman, so I'm an Ultimate Ironmaner. And at the same time, I'm an Hardcore Ironman. I'm definitely not a fruit. Oh, no siree. Oh, boy. Oh, whoa. I'm actually pissing off some group Ironmans right now on Twitch. Oh, it's so lovely. So on a closing note to this pod, and just remember, new pod Saturday. If you had the chance, and this is pretty much a rhetorical question, if you had the chance to really change something on this game, or have the ability to do something, whether it was on a private server, Project Zanaris, or whether it was just on RuneScape in general, what would it be and why? And I did ask the Twitch chat to really think about this and got some good answers so far. But while you go ahead and think about that for a minute or two, RS3 is actually definitely moving along, which is pretty awesome. I've been reporting on this for a while now, but all the skills are going to be 110 soon, which is definitely going to be awesome. 110 mining and smithing already did happen. It looks like the next one is definitely going to be wood chop chop and fletching. I'm already beyond 120 in fletching. I can't remember if I'm 110 or not in wood chop chop. But that's something to definitely consider. Now, for me answering that own question, when it comes to RS3, I would make every single skill just right off the bat 120. Because there's really no sense not to. It's RuneScape 3, damn it. Like, if you don't see the easy scape in it, then you're pretty much just... you're obviously not on RuneScape 3, let me put it that way. Every skill should just be right off the bat 120. Boom, baby. 120, all the skills, let's go. Now, when it comes to old school RuneScape, something that could be very interesting to actually have is maybe a prestige system worldwide, or just prestige in general. But having the ability to reset your stats and maybe going back to a 99 if you could, because it really is fun leveling up like your stats from level like 1 to probably like 70. And I just remember really great experiences. Great experiences leveling up like my combat stats. And that's always like the greatest thing that I experienced when I made like a new Ironman account, is really pretty much like reliving the low levels of an account. And there are people out there that have like probably maybe like a dozen plus accounts, and they just, you know, they enjoy the leveling nostalgic feeling and aspect. I still remember my first leveling back in 2005, 2006. Primarily 2005, 2006 time frame. But it was a great nostalgic feeling when you actually pretty much like leveled all these stats from like 1 to like probably around like some of them easily you can get to 70, like fishing. Well, actually no, fishing was somewhat in the pain in the bum, but like getting combat to 70, that was definitely like fun. Getting wood chop definitely to like 50, 60, even getting cooking, smithing, mining. All these like low level ones are just fun to do because you see in your mind that, hey, my total level is going up. And that was like the greatest thing. On all of my Ironman accounts, when my total levels would go like insanely quick, I would get like a great feeling. Now, in order for me to gain a skill level, it's like, well, let's see. For me to get 94 prayer, I'm going to have to be doing this for the next hour and a half. Okay, I could very well be popping a movie right now, but at the same time, it's like, if you go from level 1 to maybe level 50, that could be like in an hour and a half. So I would definitely love the ability to reset some of these 99s and just really be able to relive the experience on my main account again, re-leveling them up. I think that would definitely be awesome rather than making like a whole separate new account. Now I would also need to modify that because I don't want to fully reset my account down to pretty much like, lose the 99s. But I would definitely just like the reliving experience. I think that would definitely be awesome, and I think that would probably be very motivational. Although a lot of other people would probably say, absolutely not. And they would probably choose the opposite. Another thing, too, and I was actually thinking this, and Mr. Valentine on Twitch said optional PvP. So RS3 actually does have optional PvP. You can choose to be in the wild, and you can actually disable player versus player, and it's pretty shocking to actually think about. Ugh, the burpees. Old school RuneScape, disabling PvP. What will you be able to do in the wild? Well, you'll be able to do a lot of things. You can pretty much do clue scrolls without being attacked. You can do Slayer monsters, I believe, in the wild. Not to mention, how many bosses do we have in the wild? We got that spider boss. We got the bear boss. We got the chaos elemental. We got a agility course. So optional PvP on old school RuneScape, that would be very interesting to actually have on here. If they ever released EOC to the game, don't know if old school RuneScape would exist. EOC is probably not going to be coming to old school RuneScape, but I say this all the time, and I get very bad feedback when I say this. People tell me to F off. If it wasn't for EOC, old school RuneScape would not exist. Yeah, think about that, all my hardcore Ironman people out there. If it wasn't for old school RuneScape, there would be no Ironmans. Like, just think about it. Think about that. Oh, that's pretty shocking. You got to respect EOC. You can't say EOC should have never came out. Because if you're saying EOC should have never came out and you're an old school RuneScape player, you're literally putting white powder on your hand and slapping yourself across the face like pimp slap style. Yeah, you just pimp slapped yourself. Less harder content so you can enjoy 100% of your membership value. Can't do raids, too hard. Can't do Desert Treasure 2, too hard. Combat requires perfect input. So I definitely agree with this. Someone said less harder content. And I mean, so yesterday I ended up fighting a Slayer boss, which I'm going to be putting on Storyfire tomorrow for a video. And the Slayer boss, I've never been a great PKer. I have never been a great PVMer. I'm not a raider. I am a Zelda RPG player. If I want to play a first-person shooter game, I go and play, now I play the new Resident Evil games, but I also go and play Call of Duty Nazi Zombies. I don't play RuneScape for, like, monster slaying, manipulation, bossing. That's just not who I am. I play RuneScape as a RPG, and I really should make an entire pod talking about this, because you want to talk about The Last of Us. Yeah, like, The Last of Us is really playing this game as, like, an RPG-style game. And I know I'm not the only one out there that does this, because sure, there are a lot of people that do raids, but I guarantee you that the amount of people that actually do raids and are good at it are probably a very small fraction of the game. The vast majority of people on this game still play RuneScape as like an RPG style game, because that's how RuneScape is designed to play. Unfortunately, everyone nowadays just wants to see massively raiding content, which goes to show you that the game really is, that the vast majority of people on this game are not raiders, because we tend to see, we tend to watch things that we can't do. Like, I'll go ahead and watch videos on YouTube because I see things that I maybe physically or, cannot do and stuff, right? So maybe one of the reasons why that raiding and PKing videos are so popular for good raiders and good PKers and PVMers is because, well, the vast majority of RuneScapians are still RPG-style players. But less harder style content, absolutely. Nate, starting with 110. They should have gone all the way to 120 on RS3. Absolutely agreed there too. I mean, you want to talk about maybe some 120s on old school RuneScape, because it's getting to that point. It's getting to that period where a lot of people have a lot of EXP on old school RuneScape now. It's going to definitely be talked about. Let's see. You'd like to enjoy raid mechanics and using multiple skills to get through dungeon, even at low levels. I agree with you, and I'm going to butcher your name. OBG110, thank you for coming on the Twitch. It would be more beneficial to have a lot of easier raiding on this game. And I do understand that TOA, you can have an easier version, but even with the easier version, comes a lot of like a harder type aspect, which really does like put a nail in your coffin. I mean, hell, even if you take away all the loot from Chambers of Zurich, Theater of Blood, what is it, Tombs of A-Holes, take away all the loot and just allow like level 50s to do dungeons, because dungeoneering on RuneScape 3, you could be a level 50 and you could do dungeoneering, which is essentially raiding. You could have that fun aspect. When dungeoneering came out, 2009, 2010, I think, you had level 3s getting paying people to get them 120 dungeoneering. So raids are definitely significantly pain in the bum. That's why League and Deadman mode is fun. I definitely agree with you, Mr. Stay Roofless. Leagues and also Deadman mode is definitely one of those aspects that have kept people significantly playing. People sweating clue. Hardcores would go to Revs. I'm guessing you mean Revenites for disabling PvP. That's also very good. It was EOC that divided the community. Oh, absolutely. EOC did divide the community. And to be perfectly honest, looking back on what I personally did as a content creator, and maybe some of you all can go ahead and comment on this pod. If you remember back in 2013, I basically divided my audience because I was making EOC videos along with old school RuneScape videos, and the YouTube algorithm just completely decimated me. If I could actually relive that all over again, I would have turned NightmareRH, my main channel, into just primarily probably honestly old school RuneScape. And then I would have made one of my other channels like NightmareRH on RS, probably like EOC. Because you're absolutely right. EOC did divide the communities, but we also got to appreciate EOC if we have love for old school RuneScape, which we do. But, oh yeah, absolutely. All of my old school RuneScape videos that I was uploading, they got like a significant amount of more views. But, it would definitely be awesome if there was a way that old school RuneScape had variations where it just became easier for people to really do things without EasyScape coming to like the entire aspect. I'm not saying turn old school RuneScape into EasyScape. What I'm saying is that these private servers, hopefully, they give people the ability to experience raids at like a smaller level. You want to know what's pretty funny? I've actually thought about this last week or 2 weeks ago when I was talking about the old school RuneScape community servers that are coming. On my server, we're gonna make elms, whatever that stupid dragon is. I watched the videos. I tried learning Cox. I really did. I was live streaming that for like a week, like years ago. A week straight, I was live streaming Chamber of Zurich. I tried learning it, and I am just not good at RuneScape combat mechanics. I'm just really not. And I'm okay with that. I am a really good Nazi zombie player. Like, I lead my team. And when I get drunk, I am even better of a Nazi zombie Call of Duty player. I am someone that you want not only intoxicated, but you also want me on your team. Because when I get intoxicated, we're going to be Uber Eatsing a whole bunch of food, So I mean, you're gonna get blackout drunk with me, and you're also gonna get a meal. But I tried learning how to do cocks, and it just did not work out. So if we could set the combat levels on these community private servers to make raids easy, oh yeah, baby. My server is going to be easy scape when it comes to raiding. But it's going to be hard scape when it comes to skilling. If there's an option to have level 126 on the skill, get ready. Because you're going to need to get 200 million EXP on that skill. I think that's basically pretty much good on a closing note for this pod. Like I said, if you are not subscribed to my RuneScape YouTube channel, make sure you definitely do and turn on the notification bell because we're a growing channel, which is just really shocking. These pods are definitely reaching new people, which is definitely great and awesome, or returning people, I should say. Yes, Sour's Rage. I have a YouTube? What? Shell shocker, right? I really do love you all for watching. Thank you so much. I just really need to get past probably like Thanksgiving. Once Thanksgiving happens and one part of my life becomes significantly less busy, I promise you that longer streams are going to be definitely coming. And it's going to be very, very much, because even if my community has definitely shrunk over the years, getting my community back to what it used to be pre-2019, that's very much achievable. Pre-2019, we had quite a bit of people on Twitch. And by the way, on Twitch, we just gained 43,000 followers. Oh, yeah, baby. So I would like to definitely get to my 50,000 Twitch follower goal. I think that's definitely going to be awesome. Got to throw in some 24-hour live streams. Hit all the time zones, baby. All right, new pod this Saturday. Sexy Saturday. Otherwise, love you all. Make sure you thumbs up this video, and I will see you on the next pod.